And there it is. My God, look at the...
Welcome to another edition of Art Takes. Here's John Lakey, the madman. And with us today is Stu and Arthur sitting on the other side. See, I came late.
Just a moment. Not to interrupt you, but you can't fix stupid, but ignorance is a lifestyle choice. And something else we have to add today, we apologize in advance for any technical problems because John's at fault today.
So therefore, John's running the council, so now it will work, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm running the council, and I got punished because I came late today. But it was better than the alternative, considering I'm the Darwin Awards guy. You know, you get too late, and then you really are late.
Hey, it just occurred to me, if the main thing about the Darwin Awards is removing yourself from the gene pool, wouldn't everybody that takes a vow of celibacy automatically be in the pool?
Try that celibacy again? Is that what you're trying to get?
Yeah.
Celibacy?
Yeah.
Sell something, sell Becky, I don't know.
So when the priests are killed, they get a double award because they get one award for being a priest. But, you know, that also says for people in same-sex relationships. They're also out of the Darwin Award, too, right?
Well, you brought up sex, and I was just thinking how seldom, if ever, we see a Darwin Award going to a female. Why is it always men that do the really stupid things?
Well,
look around you.
Yeah.
Look at me and try and figure out why men always get... Yeah. You know, it's something about the testosterone, I think, that allows us to do really stupid things. See, I just, I'm on cancer meds now, so there's no testosterone in my body. And I looked at one of those radio antenna that go up, 1,800 feet in the air. And when I used to look at him, I used to say, geez, it'd be fun to climb up there with a camera and get some good pictures. Now I look at him and say, what the
what was I thinking?
There's only so much I can remove in editing.
Yes. What was I thinking?
See, with age sometimes comes maturity, and I've always looked at those towers and I've thought, see, it's not working for you either. And I've thought, it would be fun to do that. But now as I'm getting older and more mature, I suddenly realize, well, I'll take a GoPro on the helmet gear. And I'll use that. That way I can use 2 hands and 2 feet for climbing the tower. And my math may not be correct, but I'm that much less likely to fall and kill myself.
You said age and maturity. Age and maturity have the same thing, not to be, picky-unish. You want age. With age comes wisdom.
No, age and maturity is not the same thing. I mean, seriously, look at you, look at me.
Yeah, I got you now with the chicken cam.
By no stretch of the imagination are we mature.
That's true.
All right,
you gotta go old, but you don't gotta grow up. Yep.
Let's be honest about this.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot. Hey, millennials, access to all the knowledge in the world, and you got no freaking common sense.
Hey, it worked again. I think what I have to do is I have to cross myself each time before I touch it so it works.
Well,
Maybe it's just how much static I build up so that it can sense it.
You're praying to the technology gods, obviously.
Yeah. Lord Google, You heard about the new religion, didn't you?
No.
I'll have to work it out for you, but the short story is they're the Googleites. You've heard of the Israelites.
Yep.
These are the Googleites.
The lost tribe?
The lost tribe of Googleites. They actually, the thing that they like about their deity is, the others say, ask and you shall receive. Well, the Google really does give you an answer right away when you ask. It may not be the right answer, might be fake news, but you get something. So the Googleites like that. Whereas myself, if I'm going to join a new religion, I'm going to go for the Pastafarians, to believe in the great flying spaghetti monster. That's a great thing to believe in. And they have their communion, and communion doesn't just have to be with wine with the Pastafarians. communion can be with rum because the priest can dress up as a pirate, like Long John Silver. Can you imagine giving a sermon? Arr, and the Lord said, let there be light.
You do understand that's why I only do this with you once a week. So, and the scary part about it is, to me, that makes just as much sense as every other religion out there. They promise you something that they can't prove. Well, that's number one. Oh, yes, when you die, you'll go to heaven. Show me. And well, my version of heaven is this. Well, my version of heaven is that. And my version of heaven is this. And then you've got the people with Valhalla, where their version of heaven is fighting all day and eating all night. So after a while, you get to the point you say, you know what? My version of heaven is staying right here. So if I can't take it with me, I ain't going.
I don't know how to break this to you. All right, I'll be gentle. Okay? We all die. Okay? Now, you can't take it with you.
No, wait a minute. You can't prove that. A lot of people do. But do you remember that movie with Goldie Hawn? Wasn't Dead Like Me? Where they wouldn't die? And then they had the party where they had like Jim Morrison and they had all the other people that supposedly died but really didn't.
Yeah.
Let's face it, there's an awful lot of, they're so easy to fake a dead body, especially if it was in a catastrophic accident. My God, you can throw in 50 pounds of hamburger and say, poor Phil, I liked him much better when he was all wrapped up in, and you can't really prove.
There's a big resurgence right now in at least on the internet.
I'm sorry, that always makes me laugh.
Elvis, Elvis didn't die, and he's still hanging around. But he usually comes this, every so often. Every so many years they start talking about, oh no, this is really Elvis, and he just disappeared. And it's like, well, one of his planes was missing. This was going on. So yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm trying now. You got me thinking of that stupid movie in the back of my head.
Yeah, what's the name of the movie?
I'll call you about 3:00 in the morning when it hits me. I'll text you.
Well, since I don't live far away, about 10 minutes later you'll get a bomb through your window. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't say bomb anymore. That's not politically correct. Just a rock.
Okay.
Our younger brother.
Like our brother.
Whose nickname is Rock, by the way, just so people understand. You're certainly having a lot of fun. Now, see, when it wouldn't work for me, they told me, touch it once and then wait.
Yeah, I touched it 3 times. Oh, so now I have to anticipate.
Now we have to listen to you again.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give it back to you.
No.
I got one. If you're not ready, I got one.
No, I have one.
All right.
We're giving up the sparkling rapier sharp repartee that has been going back and forth.
Just a pause. Just a pause. I didn't want to try and press the machine again and tempt fate, so I'll read this one and then touch it. If you cut the rug on an oil tank, be careful not to light a cigarette, else you may soon be climbing the provincial stairway to heaven. After smoking marijuana and liquoring themselves up at a popular party spot in National Forest, a group of teens decided it would be fun to leap and cavort on an oil tank. The energetic gyrations of the dancers caused fumes to leak from the relief valve. You're jumping it up and down and making the tanks flex. There were several ignition sources, according to the sheriff. People were smoking, and there was a bonfire nearby. One of these ignition sources sparked a flash dance, and the crude oil storage tank exploded, hurling 2 men 150 yards to their death. 15 stories, 100. The deceased were identified as Samuel and Christopher, 17 and 19, huh? At 17 and 19, they had not reproduced yet. Now...
that we know of.
Luckily.
Now they cannot, the oil tank contained 160 barrels of crude oil. Can you imagine? It's a big tank, too. Imagine the tank owner had to be a little pissed,
Language?
Oh, sorry.
Perturbed.
He had to be a little perturbed because, he gets a call. Oh, by the way, your oil tanker blew up. Well, what happened with these kids were partying on it. And it's like, oh, man, can I sue them?
Well, you know what that brings to
No,
mind
they're dead.
is, well, yeah, but you can actually sue the estate.
Yeah.
It brings to my mind the phrase in that one Steven Tyler song, "Getting ready for a good time, tap dancing on a landmine," and that's just exactly what they probably couldn't tap dance very well, though.
Boy, you know, trampolines. Let's see if it works. Da 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 da. Oh, it worked! Yay! If trampolines are much safer to do than jumping on oil barrel drums, you know.
But it was there, John.
Well, exactly.
You know,
that's I don't know. That's how we used to look at it.
I'm sure
when we were 17 and 19 years old.
Thinking about it, it had to have some type of rebound, otherwise they wouldn't be up there. And you're going to haul a trampoline into the woods to start your bonfire. These kids are lazy.
Yeah, okay.
Think this through. They almost had a plan.
Yeah, there's a few times when I've said, okay, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Crawl out from underneath the overturned car or the tree that fell on you or the motorcycle that's laying on your leg burning you. And you say, well, now for plan B.
Yeah.
Let's go get this fixed and see what else I can break.
Yeah, well, that'll work. Stu, did you want to give one of your crazy
I had to
ones?
I was doing some stuff earlier. I have one Florida man that I thought was hilarious. Florida man was shot in a grocery store recently when his wife's purse fell out of the basket and her 2-shot Derringer that she carried shot him. Anyway, police
Well, she
came.
had that Derringer trained really well.
Yes, yeah. Police came. He shot him in the leg, and she had a CCW. Everything was perfectly legal, and the husband was nice enough not to press charges, and he's doing just fine now.
Well, if he had pressed charges, I bet you he would never, ever, ever
Be
close
pressing
his eyes
anything else,
again.
Yeah, it worked. So, half the battle now is pressing the button and sitting there going, doo 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 doo. Is it going to work? But anyway, if I was carrying a concealed weapon, I think it would only be on my person, and I think I'd have it strapped in there real good with the safety on and everything. Because, what good is it if it drops down and shoots you, I mean...
And yet, how often do we hear that?
Always, yeah. Guy running with his sweatpants and a pistol in his crotch, shoots himself in the knee, yeah.
No, we won't go down that road.
If he shot himself somewhere else, he could get a Darwin Award, though.
Well, that's what I've always wondered. How in the world do you find enough room for that and a pistol?
Well, I guess some people aren't endowed well enough to have a problem with that,
Well, can't we make them carry signs or something?
Yeah, well...
Hi, I'm not willing. I'm sorry. Take it over. If I don't shut up, we'll get in trouble real bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, no, I'm not glad to see you. That is a pistol in my pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, and then there's a lot of people that want to open carry, They say, it's my right to open carry. Why would I want to open carry a pistol? I mean, somebody comes right up. If somebody wants to cause trouble, they come up right behind you. They grab your pistol and then shoot you with it. And then when you're in the locker room of life, everybody's talking about what happened. You're sitting there talking with the Darwin Award people, and you say to the angel, how come you sent me with them? Because you carried the gun that the bad guy took and shot you with it. If you weren't carrying the gun, if you were carrying concealed, you wouldn't be here. That's why you're in this section of the locker room of life.
Well, the biggest problem what I see problem with the open carry is with CCW, you get training. You have to be trained to use these things. People don't understand, all their toys. It's okay, John. Just relax.
They remind me
breath.
a monkey in the zoo.
Count to 3. Push the button one more time. It still didn't go.
Yeah, the
Anyway,
chicken's got enough airtime anyway.
Yeah, well,
What gets me is, if you think about it, listen to the news, which unfortunately I have to because my wife's a news junkie. How often that the guns, the weapons are taken away from police officers who we hope are somewhat trained by miscreants, ne'er-do-wells, bad people, whatever you want to call them. I don't believe in open carry because I don't want everybody to know what I do or do not have with me. I mean, now I might like open carry a machete. But if I've got a pistol, I'm not going to open carry. It's going to be concealed so that it takes me two steps to get to it, just in case one of these moron drivers around here does rub me the wrong way. I'll have to stop and think about it for a second to get it out before I shoot him.
Yeah, you don't want to have it where everybody can see it. I mean, the only way you should carry an open gun is if everybody carries an open gun, like in the Old West. But then I think we should all be talking with a Western drawl.
Well, that sounds like fun. I've already got the hat.
They have a new law. I can't remember what state it was in, that they just said people are allowed to, after like a natural disaster like these tornadoes and everything else, they have 2 weeks that they're allowed to carry open carry.
Texas.
Yeah, was it Texas?
I did remember hearing something about that, yeah.
They allow 2 weeks that they can, hang it around their neck if they want, which I guess I can see that to a point because of the looting and other weird things that happen, but that's the one thing I don't understand. Why do people go in and try to, a tornado goes through a town and people are going in and trying to find valuables? Tornadoes kind of mess things up pretty good. At least the areas I've seen after them.
Well, I mean, I understand the rationale is that, hey, the insurance is going to pay them back for this anyway, so I'll just take it for me.
But how much of it's going to be worthwhile?
Well, you got to stop and think. Some people do have significant amounts of jewelry, or again, weaponry or electronics after a rainstorm. Forget it.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless you had lots of rain or rice to put them in. You know what? I think a little bit.
I got a 50-inch television. Go buy 8 pounds of rice.
That's terrible.
It is, but it's probably. I can see people doing it. This is the problem I have.
See, it's the machine still doesn't like me, so
I think
you may be over there permanently, John.
What I may have to do is hold a second, and then it switched. It switched. So maybe I got to count 1,000 before I let my finger up.
Or was that just some strange cosmic coincidence? Neener, 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 neener. Okay, so much for that. Obviously, neither one of us can sing. Moving on.
Hey, I got it back to you guys. I did that press. Okay, and I counted to one.
You did a Darwin Award. I got this one that just tickles the heck out of me. Where was the guy now? Did I read this last week? Key West, Florida. A Maryland man accused of leaping onto a pelican has returned to face charges. Why in the world would you jump on a pelican? I mean, it's not like you did it by accident. They're not big enough to fly like the eagles in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's face it, they're kind of ugly, so you don't want to kiss them. So what in the world's the point of jumping on a pelican?
And they got a bad attitude, too, usually.
Oh, yeah, and then they got that long beak to smack you with.
And I wonder if he was drunk or stoned because, I got no testosterone. I'd be afraid to jump on the thing because I'd figure he'd peck my eye out.
Well, see, that's the funny part. This is in Florida, and they weren't playing a Florida man game with your birthday. He was from Maryland. And I always thought the people from Maryland were a little bit smarter on average than the people from Florida. Maybe all those hurricanes that go through there has lowered the IQ for the mental IQ average, etc. Maybe all the smart people left or got killed off.
No, he was in Florida. It's in the air, as they say.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Yeah. I got one here that I found interesting. In Maine, a son used his father as a getaway driver, unknown to the father. He asked his dad to take him to the bank. He thought he was just cashing a check. The son walked in, robbed the bank, got back in the car, and told his dad, take me down the street and drop me off here. As his father is coming back, the police were at the bank. The clerk recognized the car, pointed out, the guy got pulled over, and he said, no, whatever. And he had no idea what his son did. And he told him, I just dropped him off down there. So they went and picked up the son and got him for robbing the bank. But it's like, Dad, do you mind dropping me off at the bank for just a moment? I got to run some errands.
One more example of the breakdown of the American family, mother and father. Father and son don't communicate.
Yep.
I mean, now, a good father would have drawn it out of his son and say, well, what are you doing? Oh, let me help you. Oh, you want to get away fast? But no,
this guy was 67 years old in a getaway car. So, we're not driving, we're not tearing up the street.
I don't know. Most of them don't stop for the red light, so that's something.
Or use a blinker. Blinkers
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Blinkers have become, I don't even know. I heard a saying the other day, the most useless job in the world is the turn signal installer on a BMW plant.
Oh, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
And you know, it's very odd though. Up at the Lake Orion studio, somebody there was telling me a story that many years ago there was a new young intern, and I have to admit that she was a she. Well, they were going someplace, and he was following her because she knew the route and he didn't. Well, all the way out there, while he's following her, she never ever used her turn signal. So they got out and they did all their filming and everything, went back to the studio, and he sits down, he said, "Excuse me, but I'm really curious. Why didn't you use your turn signal?" And with a straight face, she said, "'Cause I didn't want you to know where I was going."
Okay.
So, yeah. Put that knife down.
Another one bites the dust.
Oh, but you don't make things like that up because they do happen.
Well, if she didn't want him to know where she was going, then why'd she let him? Why didn't she speed up or something? Because she told him to follow her, right?
Were you listening to the story, John?
I guess I wasn't.
That's why we get along so well. It's like talking to my wife.
Is that more like talking at your wife? I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, viewers, all three of you, let me know. Do you think I should go for the audition at the Improv on this Saturday, or should I just? I also have an audition at a community college to be the HVAC director. And
I heard you had an audition for your face to be at the post office too on that little board.
yeah. The most unfunny comedian out there.
I think you'd have a lot of competition for that, especially for some of the people I've seen around here. It's like I tell people, I don't do stand-up. I had a good childhood. You just get.
Pretty much, yeah. You listen, it's all terrible stuff. It's like, I'm sorry, I had a great childhood. I'm still having it. So
yeah, the best. One of my favorite songs, Bob Lind. The song is called "The World Is Just a B Movie," and he starts out, "My parents, they hid me till I was 16 inside a front-loading washing machine," and it's quite a funny song, but it's literally talks about. All the raw material that the vast majority of stand-up people use. Oh, my mother hated me. My father hated me. They had to tie a pork chop around my neck for the dog to lick me. Come on.
Oh, okay. Well,
did we do the chicken award yet?
Yeah, we should do the chicken award.
But I don't know. I want to give it to Trump again, but he's got it too many times. We got to spread it around. You had another nominee. Yes, the Democratic Party.
Oh, the Democratic Party.
Democratic Party for wanting to win so bad. You're going to run 22 different people who are going to dilute the few voters that you have. I know it's certainly confusing me, and I agree with some of what you do. But once again, the rubber chicken goes to the Democratic Party for running. Wait, I'm sorry. Is it up
nominees.
to 26
I thought it was
presidential nominees?
Like 24th Friday, so it's probably about 26.
Well,
I figure I'm going to go throw my hat in the ring, make some money, because you fill out the forms, they give you federal money to run, right?
Ooh,
I didn't know that. Maybe we should all run.
I thought they did.
We could run a triumvirate like they did in Russia for a while in some other countries.
At Rome, a triumvirate.
There you go.
Yeah,
yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah,
that's that ticket. God, that's awful.
That was funny though. Funny guy. Anyway,
but I think it's a good idea. I think we should all file separately. What part are you going to be, John?
What part? I think I'll run for vice president.
No. Party. Well, no. Actually, if it's a triumvirate, you'd all kind of be vice.
You'd be the same. Same
rank.
Same party, yeah. I don't know if they'd let us do that, I heard the news media now believes 4chan when they put out the hashtag is a Nazi symbol now. And
Oh, really? That's a new one on me.
And actually, I heard that...
John, don't we have enough problems in this world without people looking for things that aren't a problem?
Well, the thing for me is it took me 10 years to figure out what a hashtag was. If they would have said the tic-tac-toe symbol, I would have known right away.
When they first started talking hashtag, I thought maybe it was something new that you got with your eggs and bacon in the morning, you know?
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to form my own party. It's going to be called Get the Heck Off My Lawn Kid Party.
You get a lot of backers.
Yeah, I'll get an awful lot. Problem is,
I know about 12 people off the top of my head.
they'll all be baby boomers,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, but they vote anyway.
Well, that's true. They do get off their tail and come out to the polls. That's one good thing.
How we doing
Well,
on where we at on
We're
time?
nearly on time.
Okay.
I tried it, and the long pause doesn't work. So I did it long pause, and it took forever to
Quit
do
trying to flatter yourself. You don't have pause that long.
it. Yeah, Santa pause.
Santa.
So anyway, I'll go right out now, and I'll predict that Joe Biden will be the Democratic nominee, and then after he's accepted and everybody figures it's all done with, that there will be some information that's leaked out that makes Biden unable to run, and then Hillary will stand up and say, "I'll rescue you all." And I think she's got it planned already. I don't put it by her.
I like your plan, John. I think you may be correct. Yeah.
Well, I fully anticipate this country and the world to continue to be embarrassed by the present president, and I just think he's going to continue to make a fool of himself and us until we become basically the Canada of the world. You know? Oh, don't worry. They're attacking. They're attacking. It's okay. They're Canadians. They just want to shake hands and give us a donut.
Well, if he keeps going to China and Japan.
You mean China?
If Trump keeps going to all those places, I want to know when, and I'm going to knock on the door of the White House, and I'm going to ask Melania if I can come in and have
I've
some
noticed
coffee.
he's been taking her with him. Maybe your idea's getting around.
He's on to you, John. He's on to you.
Oh, darn it. You know.
And I mean, you've got so much to offer compared to him.
Watch out, Mr. President. I'm gunning for your girl. She's going to be coming to get me.
Oh,
I think on that note, we should wrap.
I hope we're almost at the end here. Wait a minute, John. This one's specially for you. Come on. I'm sorry, chicken.
Chicken's falling over. The council's not working.
It's time to stop the show.
Yeah.